Right, let's crack them open.
It's been a hard day.
It's been a hard day.
Guys, we've got our first brand deal. Coke. I know it's
thank you so much.
Pretty small time. Pretty small time, but
you guys may not have heard of this brand.
It's called Coca-Cola. Pretty new. This is their new range. It's called Diet Coke. Is that how you pronounce it?
Cheers to Monday. Stropino. Oh, that is nice.
What's your favourite type of Coke?
Full fat.
Mine's full fat.
Health. Guys, we're here today. Well, you join us in my bedroom. To chat about the 20s. If you're in your 20s,
or about to be in your 20s.
About to be in your 20s. We just hope this is a bit of relatable content because there's highs and lows.
Yeah. We've got no answers. This is more just external processing. Yeah.
Like just before we started filming this, we started talking about things that we thought were gonna happen.
Would be.
And obviously I'm 23 and you're 24. It's not like we're 28.
No, but we're in the mid-20s.
Yeah, we're in the mid-20s.
24.
We're young adults.
Yeah, definitely.
Young adults.
Definitely. Yeah, I was saying genuinely, when I was 16, even, 12, whatever, you're going through puberty, spotty, I literally used to think, can't wait to get to 18, because I won't have any spots. It's a lie. It's a full-on lie. But do you know what I mean? There's so many things that you just think.
Yeah.
And even just the perception of the age that we are now, I literally, even when I remember when I was younger, and I'd see all the uni students in Nottingham walking around, I'd be like,
can't wait to be there.
They are so old.
I remember just full on for some reason in my head, 25 was marriage.
Oh mate, even younger. I think I just always looked at my parents, because I think my parents got married when they were 23, 24. So I was just like, sweet, that's just how it
mine
goes.
Wasn't even based off anything. My parents got married when they were 28. But I just, in my head, don't you find that so weird how you just associate ages with, I was like, yeah, I'll probably be married, probably have a kid.
Could be. Never too late.
Next
if you're 23
year,
now,
25 next year.
What if you got married this summer? 9 months.
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying it's not out of the realm.
Okay.
You couldn't 100% say that that's not going to happen.
But I can't see myself meeting someone, dating, and being married by this summer.
You don't know.
But it could happen, guys. Watch this.
I'm just saying.
This time next year, there's going to be a little baby just sat between. You have all these certain expectations of an age and how you'll be, or you vision yourself there, and then you're there, and you're still you, and you still feel as young almost as that. Do you know what I mean? You think you'll be a different person somehow or something, and then you're like, crap, I'm just suddenly 24, and I still feel like I'm
Yeah, you don't feel like you're changing when you're just doing every day.
Yeah, that's it. If time just passes, essentially.
Because then when I do reflect on me now compared to me at 18, I am I've changed a lot.
I am different.
But because
it's so slow and gradual.
It's just slow and you're just day to day going, and it's not like you have all these moments of, now I can do this, now I can do this, now I can do this, now I'm confident at this.
Yeah, but the 20s are just a bit wild. As in, I think surely every age of your life brings different seasons, let's say. I'm sure when you enter parenthood, that's a whole new season if you do. But I don't know, if you guys, if anyone watching is in their 20s, how do you find it? Because I basically, for me, feel like it's the blend of almost the world's your oyster. That's sick. I could go anywhere, I could do anything, I'm not tied down, and that being really cool versus that causing a lot of stress and
versus
the unknown, and feeling really overwhelmed at different options, or not even at different options, just more trying to work out, I guess, who you are really. That's at the core of it, and what you care about and what you're passionate about. And I think I feel Soph had a season of that kind of like last year. I feel like I'm now in that season, and it's quite hard, like when you really feel in the like midst of like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I would really like to know, and I don't know, and I feel quite unsettled, and trying to like work that out, and just longing to kind of know yourself more, but then also not wanting to wish away the years where like you are working that out.
Yeah, fundamentally 20s is like an amazing time where you have loads of opportunity to do stuff, and like you say, you're not as tied down. And I think so often, like you say, it almost becomes this burden. Like, oh, too much choice, what should I do? And I think almost, I don't know if that's because we almost feel like within that there's a right answer, like, because
we're
if
like
you just
searching for the like moment again where you're like, yeah, this is it.
Because if you just looked at it as, oh, I've got all these amazing things that I could try, with no pressure or no pressure to find the right one, you just try them all.
You just try loads of things and enjoy them.
And my when I was having breakfast on my birthday with my friend Charlie, well, all the girls, but Charlie was there, she said this thing that I was like, oh, that's actually so good about jobs. And she was saying that jobs in your 20s, and I guess not just your 20s, but in general, jobs is kind of like dating. Where like some people will from 18 find this job,
that's so
and they
true.
like stick at it for the rest of their life, and it's like, I found my career, brilliant, don't need to go anywhere, try anything else. Some people, date one person, doesn't work out, another one, and they're like, oh yeah, found my person, my job, and they do that. But it's just like, sometimes you do something more to work out, oh, I know what I don't want to do.
It would be so much easier in some ways if you just immediately knew, this is what I love. But it often happens that other way of, this is what I don't love. I think even like an encouragement, I guess, to us and anyone in their 20s is like trying more and more to view the unknown as like, it's cool that I get to try different things, rather than like, because it is like, where's that pressure coming from? And I guess it's just the societal pressure of like, at this point you should know your job, and then you should get married and have kids, and it's like that trajectory anyway, I know a lot of people feel stressed about. And it's like,
so who's
that come from? Who's that come from?
I know there are, I mean, there are some like
biological.
Sorry, these burps are quite good.
We leave that in.
No, that wasn't even, if it was a good burp I would let you, but that just sounded like I was going to throw up. I just think sometimes you feel like there's this timeline that you have to follow, and then you take a step back and you're like, why? Do you know what I mean?
But I think like we all know that, so then why do we still... You have to be really... I think you actually have to be really like conscious and intentional of being like, no, I don't need to do that, because every day you just feel bombarded by society being like, you do.
Do you feel like you're enjoying being in your 20s?
If I'm being totally honest right now, no. But...
And why?
Currently where I'm at, like literally in the past couple of months, not really. Or I don't feel like I'm embracing it as much as I could be. And that's because I'm stressing about bigger picture what I'm doing. But when I'm not thinking about that, like I love it. I think it's more... like learning to be okay with not having everything worked out, and not, because even within that, I think the main thing that would stress me out is just like trying to work out what I really love and what I would love to do. But I think sometimes you just have to try and enjoy the process of working it out, even though it's like quite long. What about you?
What am I enjoying in my 20s? I think overall, like when you... I think I've just really been trying to not buy into that narrative or timeline that we've all kind of grown up, maybe not everyone, but I know I kind of, like I said, in my teenage years was like, oh, this is how my 20s will go, and it's just not been like that at all. But it's not been in a bad way. I think that's it. I think sometimes when things don't meet your expectation, you automatically think, well, then it's bad. It hasn't worked out the way I expected it to, therefore it's wrong, or therefore it's not a good thing. But I think just the freedom that comes with, not being tied geographically to an area, to, you know, haven't got a family to support financially, or that kind of added responsibility, like all the responsibilities of things that can maybe come later in life, which are all good things, but fundamentally just change how you have to live. Just trying to embrace that, like, I don't have those things right now, and that means that there are more things I could do. I think the main thing that I've found difficult about being in the 20s era is just how much change there is. Not even sometimes in your own life, but also just around you. Like, it's so, especially I think if you live in a city, I know it's similar for people who live in London, but yeah, I think when you live in a city where there's students that you're friends with and people that kind of come and go quite often, it just means that there's a lot of change and people shifting around, leaving, starting, and even for me, like, I've changed my job, which was like something that was, I guess, in my control, that I changed. But even just around me and around us, I think in the last few months it's been like, oh my gosh, so much stuff has changed. And I think it can just sometimes feel a bit exhausting,
unsettling.
I think even moments where things can feel, or you can feel a bit weird suddenly, and realistically it's just, I guess, the reaction to the change, or it's brought up an insecurity, or it's brought up a fear of something, which I think in itself is good, because I think sometimes it takes change to highlight these things to you, because if you're just kind of in the same routine, comfortable, then you don't really realise maybe some of the things that you've like attached yourself to, or you're holding on to a bit too tightly, or you're relying on too much. So it is good, but I think it's just like, oh flip, it just feels like nothing's settling down really, and everything's always just like
and also like at one, like you get to a point in your 20s where within your friends there can be one person who's single, one person who's married, one person who's got 2 kids, like,
and you're all the same age.
And you're all the same age, like, and it just means like everyone's at different like life stages. And even just that is just like quite, like, you're trying to get your head around it, like when all that change happens, where it's like people get married and people, you know, and that obviously changes the dynamic, and you're kind of like, whoa, like,
when you're growing up it's like, oh, we're all the same age, so therefore we just go like that, we just move along, and time to get married, time to do this, time to get a job promotion. And that's just
like, me, everyone else.
But
that is actually, do you know what, even that analogy there of moving along, that's not actually true.
I know.
So it's not even like, because, you know, that's a trajectory that implies that the further you go along, you're moving forward, you're moving along, you're doing well in life, and anyone who's not married or doesn't have kids is just stagnant. And it's like that there is the exact reason that we all feel like this, and it's not even like, what is that even based on? People think that once you get all of those things, you almost become like happier, and because like you're more successful. It's actually not true at all, in terms of like, you could have someone that is married with 4 kids and deeply unhappy, and someone of the same age who's single, like you say, without a property, without a thriving career, that's loving their life. And it's like, again, it's that thing of like, I guess you almost have to be careful with not associating those things with like, oh, if I just get to that, I'll feel super happy and fulfilled. No, you won't. Like,
because like I say, it's also then you just...
Well, not no, you won't, but you might not.
No, But I think it's also, like you said, it's like not just wishing your life away. When I get to that thing, then. And you spend years...
It's like, no, live in the present. But I do think that is where, like, our faith plays a part.
Faith plays a part in knowing that these things that maybe we can start to look for or look to for happiness or worth or whatever, we can come back to and be like, we know that that's actually not where our worth comes from. And it doesn't mean that you then walk around every day knowing, oh, you know, I'm not earning X amount of money a year, but I don't care.
I don't care.
It's still something that you can end up falling into, but fundamentally our faith and knowing Jesus means that we have another option.
Yeah,
like,
and also it means that we
not another option, a better option.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
And also in those in like the midst of all of that, you can still know like peace and joy, and like you can still
and trust.
Well. You still feel content, and you can be like struggling but also have peace.
Yeah,
like that's
which feels incompatible.
Yeah,
but it is.
What would you say then? Like if you already feel like you've been on a bit of a journey of learning to embrace your 20s.
Yeah.
How do you embrace your 20s?
I'd say 2 things. Trying to somehow debunk this whole 20s timeline. Debunk. Just try and unpack where have I kind of put myself on this timeline or trajectory, which is
why do I think I need this or that? Yeah,
just a made up thing, and it's a real thing, but it's also not something that we have to buy into. We don't have to feel pressure to do X things at X time, at X age.
And just on that, if you feel a certain pressure, try and work out what the actual like source of that pressure is. Like, is it because you've got a friend that keeps, you know, talking to you about it, or
that? And I think just trying to live in the present and be grateful for what's going on in your life now.
It does change your whole mindset. If you can choose to like wake up each day and be like, I'm so grateful that you know I have this and have that, and it can be the smallest thing. I do think that
it might not be a long list. It might be that you're actually in a situation and you don't feel happy in that situation, or you don't feel like you've got good friends, or you're not enjoying your work, or whatever it is. But I'm telling you, there will be something. There will be something that you can be thankful for and try and recognise that is good in your life right now. Because like I said, I just would hate for, well, myself, to spend my whole 20s just wishing it away. Just looking for, when I get this thing I'll be happy. When there's actually stuff that in my life is really good right now.
I think I would also say, if you don't have anyone in your life that is in a kind of similar life stage to you, I would try, if you can, to just keep an eye out, or be intentional about like forming those kind of friendships, because there is just something about being able to relate on a like deep level or in more areas with your friends that brings you peace and is like really helpful when you're trying to navigate like a certain thing in your life. Do you know what I mean?
Like, and just like I'm not in it alone.
There
are other people that are at a similar point to me.
But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if anything, we just hope
just
you
an
could relate.
external process, really.
But if you do want to, like, leave a little comment or send us DM and let us know how you find the 20s, because it's a whole journey.
Or if you're not 20, maybe this is...
or how you're finding your current life stage. Mum and Dad, let us know how you're finding the 50s. Actually, to be fair, no matter what life stage you're in, just let us know how you're finding it.
Ciao.
We'll see you in our next one. Bye.